Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And now this movie review, I reviewed this film before. I'm sure some people have seen it that reviewed this film. Um, Thing is though, this film, my review of this film got taken down. I was flagged for it. I can't remember what it was for, so the video was taken down. So that was the time when I got my first strike on it. For something I can't remember what I did. Because YouTube is, they're always nitpicking on everything, and YouTube is always messed up, and all that stuff, so yeah. So I just hopefully I don't receive the same thing for this, because I did absolutely nothing wrong. All I did was just talk about the film. That was it. I didn't show no photos, or use music, or show clips of anything. All I did was just me, right here, talking about it. No, what the reason was there me to get flagged about. So hopefully I'll give this another shot, because this is also the release of the 20th anniversary movie review of it. Well, technically it was released early. It was released in '97 in the UK though, but it released in the United States officially in '98 though. But I'm reviewing it when it originally came out in. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So, what film was that? I'm doing it again. Well, reviewing for the 20th anniversary is my review of The Borrowers. So, what can I possibly have said or do, whatever, get my review of this film to get taken down for? I have no idea. I just like dumbfounded on how that happened. I did absolutely nothing wrong for the first time, so I just hope I don't, because right now all I'm doing is talking about the film. That's all I'm doing. But whatever. Regardless, though, they can just take down anything they want for whatever reason. Which I call bullshit. God. But yeah, I'm just willing to try it again. So. But yes, The Borrowers originally released in the UK in 1997, but released in early 1998 though. So I'm just reviewing it as a 20th anniversary, because it was originally came out in 1997. And it's directed by, it's based on a book series of the same name, which I've never read, and it's directed by Peter Hewitt, the first film he directed which was a sequel to a film I enjoy. He directed Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, his first film. I enjoy that. I enjoy the sequel because the first film was a classic. The sequel I do enjoy. I think it's a bit of an underrated sequel. So Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He directed. That was his first film. He did a good job with that film. Then he later going to direct this film, and then he would direct Garfield the movie, and then he would go and direct Zoom with Tim Allen. Now Zoom, I would say that film sucked with Tim Allen. Sadly to say, that film flopped. And then he directed a film called Made in Heist. I think it was with Morgan Freeman and Christopher Walken. I have not seen that film. But Garfield, then Zoom, and then Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And it stars John Goodman, who I enjoy as an actor. Great actor. I think John Goodman, he's a lot of fun. I think he's fun in the film. He's just, just having a fun time. I think he's having a fun time playing in the role as Oshus P. Potter. He's a lawyer. And I think he's a hoot in this film. Disappointing was you have Jim Broadbent, who plays one of the borrowers of the dad named Pod Clock. He's been in other films too. I remember mainly from Hot Fuzz. Round the World in 80 Days. He had a little role in the fourth Indiana Jones film. But I've seen him in other stuff too. So yeah, Jim Broadbent. Then you have Mark Williams, who's an exterminator. Named Jeff the Exterminator. He's now more well known playing Ronald Weasley's father from the Harry Potter films. But when I first saw this guy, he was in the live action version of the '96 classic to me, 101 Dalmatians. He played Horace. And speaking of 101 Dalmatians, another actor, Dr. House himself, Hugh Laurie, is in this film as well, which they both co-starred together, playing Horace and Jasper in 101 Dalmatians. He plays Hugh Laurie. He plays a police officer. Among the other borrowers, you have Celia Ermy, who plays the mother, Homily Clock, and you have the daughter, Artie Clock, played by Flora Newbegin. And then the younger, they have a son, a little boy named P. Green Clock. He's actually played by young Tom Felton, who he's in Harry Potter. I forget he plays Malfoy, Draco Malfoy. That's what it is. Yeah, yes, you have a young Tom Felton here. Years before he played Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter. And you have an American family that's living in this house, and the little boy, the son who's living in the house, is played by Bradley Pierce, who played Peter from Jumanji, and he also voices Tails from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and the other Sonic the Hedgehog that came out at the same time. All played he played both of Tails in both the shows. So overall, pretty good cast. John Goodman is the highlight of the film for me. He did a fun job with the film. I enjoy him as an actor. The whole gist of it is that this American family live in this house that the boy named Pete, I think it was Peter or Pete. That's Pete. He's just saying that all their things are getting stolen, and which you have the borrowers. They don't steal, they borrow. For using for other stuff. To live out their lives. Using stuff. Borrowing like a battery from a radio, or using dental floss or other accessories to make themselves. To keep with their lives and to eat, whatever. And you get a little bit when the family leaves the house. The father, the son, the daughter. Like the daughter, I can't even mispronounce her name, but she wants to get some ice cream in the freezer. She goes in the freezer, and one thing I think that's really good I like about it is the production the production sets. Like the same production set pieces like from Honey I Shrunk the Kids. The kids are shrunk and they live in this. The backyard. It makes the production set makes it like the backyard, like tall grass and all that. Here, making this small family, like everything, the house seems like much bigger. I thought the production values, the sets, I thought was really well done, creating this big world, which is our normal looking world, but it's bigger to them because they're tiny. So I like the production sets on that. She gets actually locked in the freezer, and her dad's coming to goes to help her, and eventually they live underneath the floorboards. And the parents, they talk to their lawyer, Oshus P. Potter, played by John Goodman, saying that there was a will that the wife's what was it, it was I think it was the wife's aunt, I think, or mother. I forget though. She left a will to them, but John Goodman, he says he doesn't know where it is, and they can't provide a will. They have to leave the house to move out until Saturday. And what John Goodman wants to do, since they can't provide a will, he wants to demolish the house, and he wants to convert their land into big, expensive apartment buildings. So, tells them to be out by Saturday. So they're moving, and the son Pete, he discovers that can't remember I keep on mispronouncing the name. Erty is in his bedroom. Pete catches her, puts her in a little like a fishbowl to talk to her, and he wants them tells them about the moving out, and he wants them to take them with them. So as he puts them in the back of the moving van, as they leave, the children, they fall out of the van, so they go back into the house. And John Goodman, Oscar P. Potter, he goes into the house to search for the will, and he finds it within the wall. There's a safe, and he finds the will. And he demands that get the construction people down here to demolish the house after he goes to City Hall to get the license or whatever. So they need to get the will away from John Goodman, and he tries to burn the will with a lighter, but it doesn't work. So he tries to get some matches, and he sees the will moving on its own. He's like, and he has a stethoscope to where he listens to get the will. He listens to the little voices, and in which they call the borrowers, they call them beings. Us, they call us beings because we're big human beings. Which there are human beings too, but they're tiny little people though. And they call him ugly, and John was like, ugly? Who are they calling ugly? So he tries to get to the floorboard. They stab him with a little pin. So, and then he calls in the exterminator, played by Mark Williams, and he has this little gadget to destroy them with. Sorry. With this hot foam, it will burn them, and it starts filling within the walls. And John goes like, "How long is this gonna take?" And he taps him, and the guy sprays him in the face with the hot stuff. It and yanks it off and rips up his mustache. And he's like, my mustache." And then they get back on the walls, and he's listening and gives him the hammer. Gives it to Mark Williams. It's like there. And then Tom Felton gets caught, and he gets thrown up into this light bulb, and they turn on the light switch, and it starts burning him. And Erty gets his from the ceiling, measure tape to pull him up, and John Goodman gets the hammer and hits the light bulb, but the switch is still on, and he's getting electrocuted. He's like this. Yeah, you turn off the power. Like that. It's like, thank you. So, so they plan to get away out of the house. They're on the sliding on these clotheslines. So Mark Williams, he gets to track them. He has a bloodhound, and it's one of the nitpick I can say that there's the thing with the bloodhound. It farts because he's been given too much cheese. He feeds cheese and he starts farting. I didn't need to hear a dog farting all the time. But what can you do? Like I said, I explained how much I don't like fart jokes and other stuff. Oh, when they were speaking of the fart jokes and all that stuff, there's this when the children they fell out of the moving van. Tom Felton, he gets caught in a pile of crap. I don't know if it's animal crap. certainly what didn't look like human crap, but it just like I assume it was animal crap. So yeah, didn't need to, that could have been cut out though, but still. And then Hugh Laurie pops in, talking. Then they run into again on the street, and Tom Felton they're on the roof, and they get spooked by a pigeon, and he falls down the gutter into a milk bottle, and of course by convenience when the two they get stopped by Hugh Laurie again, while the milkman conveniently comes up and gets the milk bottle. So they just chase him all the way to the dairy factory, and Pete sees them, goes after them, and John Goodman, Tom Felton, he's in the bottles, the machines, and Arity, she's on her own though, but she meets another borrower by the name of Spud, because they believe that her and her family were the only borrowers that existed now, but there's another guy named Spud, teenager, just like her age, gets a faster way to get there to the sewers, this little vehicle that he made. So they get there. John Goodman, he sees them, tries to whack them with, which they're on this conveyor belt with a machine that rotates the bottles. He starts hitting the empty bottles, which why doesn't he just walk up to them where they are, before they run away, and just hit the bottle where they are instead of just standing in line, just hitting them though, but still. And then they hit the switch, and he gets doused in hot cheese. And then the parents, they meet up with him again, and he's like, hey, I need a, what was it, he calls them thieves. He's like, no, thieves were borrowers. Oh, he's like, well, I will borrow this. He takes the will from them, and now I will borrow you. He takes with a little broom and dustpan, and it straps him to this table to put doused in hot cheese. But the Spud is just like taught backsassing him, so he takes him, picks him up, and puts him in this little I don't know what it is, but he just dumps him. It's like supposed to be like hot and steamy, so he just drops him in there. They think they killed him, and turns on the machine to just wait for them to be doused. And Pete comes in. He's like, "Where are they? Oh, your little pals? They're about to be cheesed." And Mark Williams, he teams up. He allies with the boy, and Pete gets him out in time before they get poured with cheese. So they go to City Hall, and for John Goodman, he needs to go to what was it, building contracts or whatever. And the woman at the desk, just tells him go all these directions. But when Mark Williams and Bradley Pierce, they come in, he just gives them a simpler way to go to. Like, go up to the top and go to the right. And John Goodman, which they rig the door that says building contracts, whatever, but it's a supply room. So, and they try to set up a trap for him. Like, they tie him up with his hands. Like, he gets sprayed with stuff, and they tie his hands with tape, but he breaks free and grabs them, gets the will back from them again, and puts like a trash can over him, and he gets like a vacuum cleaner to try to suck them in. Sorry. As I was saying, they're about to get sucked in, and by the vacuum cleaner, but gets turned off. That's Spud. He's alive, and he brought friends with them. And they tie him up with lines and with a fan tangle him up. And then there's a whole bunch more, like hundreds of little borrowers. And, like a pod clock gets like a little makeshift elevator made of pencil. Tells them we're little and this and that, and so, we're borrowers, we don't steal, and the whole 9 yards. And they disappear within a flash when the door opens. All of them. And Hugh Laurie, they bring the kid and the exterminator, they bring Hugh Laurie in, tells them that they get about the will and all that. He's been hoarding the will, and said that explain that they're borrowers, and and he gets put in under arrest, and the family moves back in the house, and the kid doesn't tell the parents about the borrowers. He keeps them a secret by giving them little foods. And as the credits are going, John Goodman is explaining the story once again to Hugh Laurie at the police station, and they're all just laughing at him. You know, think he's crazy, and he's getting his mugshot taken. He's like happy, he's like smiling. So yeah. Yeah, I had fun with the borrowers. John Goodman once again. I thought he was fun in the role. I like the production values, the sets. You know, making like the same sets like for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like the same design. I like this. I like the production sets on that, and the score by Harry Gregson Williams. He did the music, but the score there's two. There's like music composed by Harry Gregson Williams, but yeah, the score is by Hans Zimmer. In the credits, you see Hans Zimmer, like score by Hans Zimmer. But music and score isn't music and score the same thing? Or I guess the music because it's in the UK. It's in the UK, so I guess the UK part is Harry Gregson Williams, while the American part is from Hans Zimmer. I guess. Either way, I think it's a decent score. It's a decent score. If it's by both, decent because I like Hans Zimmer. I like Hans Zimmer when the music he did back from the '90s. It was good, especially The Lion King, Broken Arrow, and so many others. So yeah, which I like the score from Hans Zimmer when he did stuff in the '90s. Like I said, two of the prime examples right there. But other films like he did like I think he did the scores on The Fan, the Tony Scott film. I think he also did Days of Thunder as well. Two of them with that Tony Scott did. Yeah, I think he did Days of Thunder. I know he did for The Fan. And I think he did for Days of Thunder as well, and I like that score. Yeah. And the film is on for about... It's a short film. It's only about 89 minutes. Not the long of a film. Not much for features. Well, actually there is. There is behind the scenes footage of the making of the borrowers. You know, especially like making the set pieces and all that. Like I said, the borrowers, like Jim Broadbent, young Tom Felton, Flora, Newbigin, Sela Emery. We're all very decent. Like I said, John Goodman, he was fun to watch. Bradley Pierce, who I like in Jumanji. I like his voice as Tails. Mark Williams and Hugh Laurie, I like. I say because this was like the year after. This is a year after 101 Dalmatians, so once again, they share on a screen together, so it was nice to see that. Horace and Jasper again. It was well directed by Peter Hewitt for such as the production designs and all that. I just was just I don't know whatever I can't remember whatever I did for this to say or whatever for this my original review of this film be taken down. I don't understand why. I just hope it doesn't get taken down for this one because I'm there's nothing I explain about the film. I'm not doing anything else. It's me right here, my face, just talking about it. It's just total bullcrap, because I know YouTube is messed up on a whole bunch of things, on so many levels. People will do anything to nitpick or whatever. If we are not allowed to say or do what we want, what's the point of doing stuff on YouTube? What's the point if they're gonna continue doing stuff like this to us? To everybody. That's why YouTube was made, for people can upload what they want, all that stuff. I'm just doing what I want, I'm just here explaining about a film. That's all I'm doing. Nothing else. I'm just not doing. I'm not using any video footage or pictures or music or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what I did wrong. But as for other stuff, it was positive. It was well received by critics. Has 73% Rotten Tomatoes. It does have a 5.8 IMDb. I think it's too low for that. Roger Ebert said how he described the film is, in the wake of numerous television adaptations, as a big screen, big budget version with special effects so amusing it's like Toy Story has come to life. The charm comes the way the borrowers makes its world look like a timeless storybook. If the action and the physical humor are designed to appeal to kids, the look of the film will impress adults who know what to look for. So yeah. And the film didn't do well box office wise. It opened number 5, and it was released in the United States in '98 February, which of course that was the time when Titanic was making money, taking away everything. It debuted number 5, and it flopped. Then it was a budget like 29 million. Domestically, it made like 22 million. So the film did poorly, sadly. But regardless, so I enjoy The Borrowers. I just hope I don't just. I will see what happens when I upload this review. So hopefully, but like I said, I don't know what I did wrong. Just talking about a film. But yeah, I'm going to send it here before anything else. But this is my 20th anniversary movie review of The Borrower. 20th anniversary movie review of The Borrowers. If I can talk right again. I was still a good fun kids film. And for anyone who's a fan of John Goodman, he's fun in the film as well. Like I said, I enjoy John Goodman as an actor. He's fun. So yeah, that's my review of the 20th. That's my 20th anniversary review of The Borrowers. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. And we'll see you later.